Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone doing today? Welcome to the World Cup, the GT Champions World Cup, presented by RWB Racing and sponsored by Detailing Group, amongst others. We are in round 2. It's season 3. Ugh, it's crazy. Still crazy. I know I said that last week, but today, still the same. Still crazy that we're in our 3rd season already. Today we're at Spa, which is, in my opinion, one of the best courses in the history of racing, and I think a lot of other people would agree. Let's get this party going though, because they're ready to start. What happened last week? Last week we had Nux at the top of the podium, followed by Loudy Darkmist, and then Black Friday just after him in 3rd place. The full race results are here. However, we don't have time to go over all of them. But if you can take a quick look yourself, then you can see. The standings will be about the same. No big changes there. So, what's today's grid order? This is important. We'll stop and take a look at this. We got Ozzy up top. Now, by the way, grid order is set in a strange way, an interesting way, not strange, but a cool way. It's reverse grid based on your fastest lap in the previous race. So if you went absolute fastest in the last race, you are starting in last place this race. That's Nux, as you see there. And Ozzy is starting at the very top as he went slowest in the last race. Now, of course, this is a completely different track. Spa is a completely different beast from Brands Hatch. So they're similar in a lot of ways. So it'll be interesting to see who is good this time around. Yeah, I think, let's see, everyone is ready and on track. So we'll go ahead and we'll also get on track. And I'll signal the Master of Ceremonies here, Igorski, that I'm ready. Ready to start, ready to see what's going on. Let's turn on everything we're supposed to turn on. And make sure everything you're not supposed to see is off. And that's it. Starting now. I'm gonna work on these intros. I'm gonna start sooner. I had to answer some questions in Discord. Got a late start, but I'll be sure to be better about that next time around. Here we are, guys. It's time. It's time. I'm ready. Are you ready? Because I'm ready. Everyone's lined up. Everyone's in the Jaguar. GR3. We're in GR3s this week. And the lights are all red. They're about to go green. And hopefully no one gets stuck. Green, green, green. Oh, we got somebody stuck on the grid, so I'm going to go ahead and call a red flag on this one. We're going to have to start over. Who got stuck? Who was that? Come on, get me to the back. Oh, I can't. They're already leaving, so we'll restart there. We'll give some people an opportunity to leave the lobby and come back into the lobby. This gives us an opportunity to take a look at our current standings as everyone is now, well, not everyone has scored points, but we do have points on the board. Oh, maybe I'm lying. Everyone has scored points. Even Tattooed Freak is in last with 1 point. That's good. Nux, of course, is at the top. He finished the race first last week and got the fastest lap, so got extra points for that. Nux with Sector 1 Racing at the top. Loudy Dark Mist and RSR Racing just below him. Black Friday with PLE. Brocka Lily representing Icer. Benjo does a lot of work, especially with our liveries in the league. I believe that he's our livery master, if I'm not mistaken. Mazda with, I'm not sure what that says, Snadon Racing? I can't tell. It's cut off. We'll get that fixed for next week. Scotty in 6th. Slappist Mate in 7th. Joey Cannoli in 8th. Igorski in 9th. Chevy rounds out the top 10 of the season standings with 6 points. And then towards the bottom, we've got Robble Sport, Ozzy, G-Bub, Colin, and Tattooed Freak. I keep wanting to say Tatted Freak. It's Tattooed Freak, clearly. Rounding out our top 15. Now, this can change completely because, I mean, obviously, this is a different season, right? Or this is the start of the season, rather. So we have 9 more races where all of this could change. And you gotta love it. Honestly, you gotta love it. Let's see. Has everyone rejoined? We're waiting on one more person to finish loading on the screen here. And then we can start the race again. As I said, the drivers are in the Jaguar F-Type GR3. I think it's a great car. It's a V8. Believe it's supercharged, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that. What I do know is that it's a torquey beast. I love driving the Jaguar, especially in endurance races. You can short shift it, and it will still be fast. It's, like I said, very torquey. You don't have to go really down low in the gears if you want to. However, first gear is usable if you're careful with it in some of these sharper corners, like La Sus at the very top of the map here. You can see some of the cars are making a right there right now. That is the sharpest hairpin on this track, and it's turn 1, so definitely a first gear turn with the Jag, but you can obviously pull it out in second. I'm interested to see how people short shift and save fuel in it, as fuel is a component in the race. But hey, we're back to getting started. Let's get on track and make sure we can see all the action here, and hopefully no one gets stuck this time around. Lights are up. Somebody's wipers are on. There's no rain, but wipers. Little flash hello to the competitors there. And Igorski starting to come up on that throttle to get going. And nobody is stuck this time. Everyone is off and away. With pretty good starts by everyone. I don't see anyone who had a bad start there. Squeezing through La Sus. It's very tight out there, and a lot of people end up going wide in the corner. Oh, and someone is spun. Who is that back there? Who's that? That was Mazda. Mazda gets spun at the start, unfortunately. And we'll go back and watch that in a second. I just want to see everyone run through Eau Rouge and Gazillon there. Little crowded in the mid-pack, or towards the back rather, but everyone gets through okay and is now entering Kimmel Straight. We're on board with Sephiroth in 6th place. Just gonna take a look around. He breaks late into Lecombe, later than the car was right, at least. Not too late. Obviously makes the corner okay. Everyone keeping it careful here. Tires are cold, as there's tire wear on in this game. When tire wear is on, the tires start out pretty cold and you have less grip. Sephiroth doing a good job to just stay out of Joey Cannoli's slipstream here in, oh my gosh, I can't remember the name of one of the most famous corners in the Brousset. Thank you, the hairpin. The curvy hairpin. It's a more curvy one. Anyway, doing a good job to stay out of the dirty air there. What do we got up front here? Tattooed Freak came in for G-Bub and is going to be leading this race, hopefully for a while, for his partner there, Ozzy in 2nd place. Ozzy was at the top of the podium, qualified or not qualified, but was the top of the order. He's already lost one position here. Loudy Dark Mist is still holding it down in third place. And it looks like everyone is single file now. No one else really fighting it out. Let's see if we can go back and see what happened to Mazda at the start of this race. That was unfortunate for him there. Yep, he just gets spun right there in the middle of, or at the exit rather, of the exit of La Sus. Yep, just unable to hold on to the car, gets turned around. And well, that's all she wrote. So he is in last place. Looks like he's actually caught up to the rest of the pack though. Tattoo Freak is pulling away from Ozzy. He's got 0.8 of a second. In fact, the top four have all pulled away from the rest of the pack. So all together, and of course, like I said, Ozzy rounding out the back of that there. Sorry, not Ozzy, Mazda rather. I think I called him Ozzy like 5 times. My apologies. It's just Ozzy's name is in all caps. It's just seared into your brain when you're looking at it. See, he's right there in second. Just seared into your brain. Mazda on a tear behind Igorski, trying to see if maybe he can make up some positions after losing a whole bunch of positions at the start of the race. So now we see him really going hard, trying to get around. He's got a good slipstream in Kimmel, and he's going to try to outbrake him into Lecombe. Doesn't make it happen. He has to brake a little bit early to let him by, unfortunately. But you can see Mazda trying real hard to get back up in the order here. He started in 11th place, so he didn't lose too many positions. It's not like, you know, it absolutely ruined his race, but to go from 11th to 14th, 15th in one corner, he just made the pass on Igorski here, is pretty disappointing, of course. Tattooed still leading, getting a little bit of separation in the top 4. Even Loudy Dark Mist and Ozzy are glued at the bumper, but Scotty is sitting there back in 4th place, just a little away. And I think him and Ozzy rocking the same livery, looking good. I love that pink. I love that we have the potential to see entirely different liveries every single round of this season, as we use different cars every single round. Now, of course, livery designers might opt to just keep the same livery and just apply it to different cars every week, but the potential to be completely different is awesome. Look at this fight here between 6th, 7th, 8th, and just insanely close. Got somebody ghosting there. I think some people have penalty, and the ghosting is helping them not be in an accident, because that definitely would have been some spinning out there at the bus stop chicane. A lot of those cars were overlapping, and now they get to do it again. Who's this trying to make a move into turn 1 into La Sus? I think that is Chevy that I'm on board with. Not Chevy, sorry, that was Nux making a move on Chevy. Very nice pass there by Nux. My apologies. I was trying to replay that pass. Hit the wrong button. Am I going to miss it? Nope, we're going to see it here. So Nux up on the inside of Chevy. Nicely braked, nicely done. Gets out all the way outside in the corner and takes that position away. Well done there by Nux to pick up a position to get into 6th place. As usual, the mid-pack is popping in this lobby. It was last week. I expect it to continue to be the same this week. The front of the pack kind of ran away for a bit, but what's different this time around is that the fastest drivers from last week are having to make up positions from the back. And if they were faster last week, chances are they may be faster this track this week as well. So they've got to make their way all the way through. So we've got several laps of battling to come at the start of this race here. It'll maybe a little while before it really settles down. Where is Mazda? Mazda's made his way back up into 11th place, so he's back into his starting position here on lap 3. Well done. It's a 90-minute race, so still plenty of time, but he's done well to get back at least to where he was, and hopefully we'll continue to climb up the order here. There's so much to call loud. I think I'm just going to let. I'm just gonna let it be what it is. I'm just gonna watch it. You guys watch it. You see what's happening. I'm gonna let the race be its own commentary for a moment. Another round here. Now, whose livery is that with the rainbows on the back? I'm loving that. I couldn't figure out whose car it was. I think I've gone too far back. Uh-oh. It's Joey. It's Joey Cannoli. Let's see from the chase cam if we can catch. Maybe I'm wrong. It was not Joey Cannoli. I don't know who it is. I'll find it. Ooh, a little squirrely and Eau Rouge there. Loving chase cam from there. It's interesting how the cars pivot. That's actually why I can't race in this view. It's the pivoting is weird. This is Brock Lilly over Smitty in Kimmel. Just got a better run through Eau Rouge and Laradillon there. And ooh, he almost taps Igorski. And you can see it's Colin almost losing it and Lecombe just ahead, but he keeps the position. And Brock Lilly up on the inside of Igorski. He's going to make this pass and dive in, and Brousset should have the inside, but Igorski might hold on around the outside. He's trying. I don't think he's going to get it. He's going to back off of it, giving Brock Lilly the position here as they head into the double left-hander. Yep. Mid-pack. Crowded. It's Sephiroth. Sephiroth is the one I was thinking of. I love this color spill situation on the back of the car. Yeah, this is a cool livery here. Loving the colors. That's pretty awesome. This is what I meant. Like, I'm gonna get a treat every week. Let's go Friday. PLE, get a brick, all sorts of representation here, and cheering going on in the chat. Thank y'all for coming in. Thank y'all for watching. This is Brock Lilly with Igorski behind him. If you recall, Igorski just let Brock Lilly have a position, but he didn't let him have it easy. And I'm not sure if he's going to let him keep it here. He might opt to just stay back there and draft off him. Wow, 3 wide behind them, though, in that corner. And Paul Frere, they lined it up for the chicane, but that was interesting going on in the background there. I think Igorski is just going to chase Brock Lilly. What we got up front? Tattooed Freak still up front. He hasn't completely run away. In fact, that gap has gotten a little more manageable. Ozzy is now in his slipstream, so Ozzy is probably good to just sit there and save fuel behind him. Scotty just behind the two of these drivers. Not in the slip, probably wishing he could be. But is Ozzy going to make a move here, or is he going to keep it cool? He's going to play it cool. He is definitely saving fuel because he absolutely could have come around Tattooed Freak there and opted not to. He's going to stay behind, get a little tow, probably for a few laps, and maybe decide to make a pass later on. Of course, you still have some very fast people coming up from the back. Nux has already made his way up to 5th place. If you recall, Nux started in last because he had the fastest lap in the last race. He's already up into the top 5, so he's on the way. We've got some quick drivers coming in here, so everyone should be on notice up front that things are not going to stay the same. Tattooed and Hypnotic don't have too much long before Nux gets there. In fact, Nux is 4.8 seconds away from the leader here. Black Friday, Sephiroth together. I'm ready for Black Friday versus Brock Lilly, though. Where's Brock Lilly? He did just make that pass on Igorski for 11th place. Ooh, where does that put Mazda? Then Mazda's up into 8th. So lots of passes happening, lots of changes in position happening. We've caught a lot of them. We've missed a lot of them. It happens. Got 15 cars to watch. Can't see it all. Ooh, Joey Cannoli with a penalty and a tail, a 2-car tail. Joey's down in 13th place, being chased by Smitty and Slappus in last place. let's see, where's Nux now? 5 seconds away from Tattooed Freak, so that pace is staying about the same. You can see Ozzy still just following along with Tattoo, but Scotty also has somebody glued to his bumper, Loudy Dark Mist. So 2 sets of drivers drafting, saving fuel on the drive with the driver ahead of them. That's racing. I gotta go back to the mid-pack because we all know that's where the excitement's actually happening. Yep, side by side goes Chevy and I believe Mazda that is next to him there. Who's gonna inch out ahead for Eau Rouge? It looks like Colin inches out ahead. It's not Colin and Chevy and Mazda. It's Chevy and Colin. Mazda is actually ahead of those two, racing alone, trying to catch up to Black Friday and Oak Hill Carpentry livery. Chevy now being challenged by Broccolilli and passed by Broccolilli, in fact, in Kimmel. So Broccolilli carrying more speed through there, making his way up the order. That's the second or third pass that we've seen Broccolilli make today. Definitely the second that he's made in Kimmel, I believe. I could be wrong. You know what? Don't count on my memory, okay, of things that happened 3 laps ago. That was in the past. Let's not stay stuck there. Let's not stay in the past. Let's talk about the present. And who's that? Slappus coming around out of Bruxelles. Are everyone on the same tires? Just like you guys can't see, but I can see. And yeah, everyone's on the same tires. So even the drivers that jumped out ahead, this top 4 that jumped out ahead of everyone at the start, they did it on pace alone, and maybe of course just the clean racing. I mean, that's what you want to do. If you're racing up front, don't fight, just go. Try to run away from the mid-pack, as these drivers have done here. Now, of course, when one member of the mid-pack is an absolute alien named Nux, they're going to meet up with you. And actually, Nux wasn't even in the mid-pack. Like I said, Nux started in last place, but here he is almost up to this group here. Sephiroth is still leading the first part of the mid-pack. Behind him, Mazda and Black Friday are looking like they're getting a little bit cheeky. Mazda actually was behind Black Friday last time I looked and is now ahead. So Mazda up into second place. Black Friday, Colin is in between Broccolilli and Black Friday. Broccolilli's only 6/10 behind Colin. So once Colin's taken care of, we're probably in for some good battling. Broccolilli v Black Friday last week was epic. I expect more of the same. And there's only one car between the two of them. So what do you think is going to happen if Broccolilli's able to take care of Colin, or if Colin's able to take care of Black Friday? Ooh, it's gonna get sexy. All right, what's going on in the back? Are we still looking pretty much the same? Well, Joey's actually now all the way in the back, in 15th place. He was in 13th the last time we checked. Smitty has made it ahead of him in that PLE livery. Slappus, again, the Mobile Racing oil pink livery, seen that a lot. Love that look. I actually just love the look of this Jaguar. The F-Type is probably my favorite modern Jag. And it's not without reason that the E-Type is my other favorite Jag. It's the one that this is a spiritual successor to. It's supposed to be the most beautiful Jaguar, and it is, if you ask me. Opinions. Like other things, we all have one. Robbo says, let's go Loudy. Robbo, aren't you in here? You're not in here. You were on my grid. No, you're not on my grid. You're on my standings, but you're not in here. Glad that you can make it to watch the race. Who's racing for you? Is it Loudy? Ooh, Tattooed Freak is in third place. Not sure what happened there. Probably happened a while ago. I'm gonna see how far back I can go. Yeah, that's too far back. I'm not gonna see what happened to Tattooed, but he's down in third place. Scotty and Nux are just behind him. Oh, here he is. What just happened there? Tattooed, I think, just missed the braking for the bus stop chicane and ends up in the wall. He's got engine damage. He's gonna have to safely get back on track. He's gonna have to wait for everyone to pass before he can go into the pits here. Yep, and that's the end of that first place standing, or top 3 at least, for Tattooed. Let's see if we can see what happened here. We'll hit chase cam. Here we are. The next corner is the bus stop chicane. And yeah, he just doesn't brake until way too late. He avoids everyone else and boom, ends up in the wall. Good job to avoid all of his fellow competitors there, but unfortunately had to sacrifice the car. Luckily, this is virtual racing, and so just a quick jaunt into the pits and he'll be back without any issues. No insurance payouts, no injuries, nothing. Loudy is up ahead of Ozzy now, with Ozzy right on him. I think this is probably Ozzy's happy place anyway. He's fine to stay behind someone for the duration. Again, just saving fuel, which this car is very good at. The Jaguar is very torquey. You can shift it fairly shortly and still keep your speed going. And if you have a slipstream, you know, there's no question. So Ozzy just saving fuel, saving tires, really, not even fighting. Doing a good job. I'm very interested to see how he comes out in the pit stops. Behind them, we had Scotty, who's got Nux behind him now. Up in the 5th is Mazda, who had fallen all the way to last place by several seconds. So Mazda showing some absolute crazy raw pace and racecraft, of course, to get all those passes clean. He just goes purple in the 3rd sector. In fact, sorry, 3rd sector, 2nd sector, 2nd sector. There's only 3 sectors to Spa, despite it being a humongous track. It's a 2-minute 20-second track, as you can see, for everyone's pace right now, at least on the tires that they're on right now. And so this is a humongous track to only have 3 sectors, but here we are. Mid-pack, Sephiroth, Broccolilli ahead of Sephiroth, and Broccolilli is with Black Friday because Colin got ahead of Black Friday and Sephiroth. So well done, Colin, there. But Broccolilli v Black Friday is on. It's already popping side by side, entering La Source, and they both stay side by side the entire time. These two have raced a lot together. Looks like Sephiroth is, oh, that wasn't Broccolilli and Black Friday. Sorry, that was Sephiroth and Broccolilli. My fault. But Sephiroth has to tuck in behind them. Here we are. Like this view. Let's give us an in-car view. Mostly because the bumper cam shows too much. Little bump draft there towards the braking zone at the end of Kimmel. Doesn't mess Broccolilli up too much. Maybe just both of them trying to get away from Black Friday and catch up to Colin. Black Friday is 2 entire seconds back, so he's going to need a lot of help getting up to Sephiroth and Broccolilli here, and it's in Broccolilli and Sephiroth's best interest to simply not fight and not give him a chance to catch up, for sure. Colin up into 6th place ahead of Broccolilli, just behind Mazda. Racing alone through the double gauche here. Sephiroth racing behind Broccolilli in that. Got to be careful going into the double gauche behind somebody. Lots of dirty air. And it's very dirty on the outside of it, so you will slide out and slide out very far away. So Sephiroth doing a good job racing close and keeping it together there. I can't say that the race has really started just yet. We're in the 9th lap. And we've got a lot of people racing together, just kind of partnering up. Joey Cannoli in 12th place here, ahead of Slappus and Smitty. So back up from the back. But then every now and then I see somebody make a move on somebody. Loudy has let Ozzy ahead of him. He says, it's my turn to save fuel now. And so Ozzy leads for the first time in the race, at least since the start of the race. Let's see. Let's bring up our grid again. Yeah, Ozzy was at the top of the grid. If you recall, Tattooed Freak, who's racing for G-Bub, got the jump and got ahead and was in first place for a long time, long before that. You can see just how much this grid has changed. It's changed a lot. You can see the top 8 on the left here of the screen, while Loudy slingshots around Ozzy. I think Ozzy kind of let that happen, maybe went a little slow in Eau Rouge. Still purple first sector for Ozzy there, but you can see how much the grid has changed. Let's see who's at the top. We've got Nux up into third place now, so Nux making that pass over Scotty, and we missed it, obviously. We were watching the front here, but I wonder if Nux is going to go all the way to the top. Remember, Nux started at the back of this race in 14th place. Chevy was in third, and Chevy's way down there, but where was Scotty? Scotty started in 6th place, so Scotty actually up 2 positions, up into 4th place. Not doing bad, holding on to this position here, but you can just take a look at this top 8 and see that it's completely different from what it was, and that is the whole point. Tattooed Freak is 26 seconds away from the pack, and of course having to stop for repairs is going to completely change their strategy here. Of course, he wasn't allowed to take fuel or tires during that stop. That is not allowed, or you will get a penalty when you do that. That is, I think that's outlined here on this race details sheet. Yes, so we do have a pit window at the 50-minute mark, meaning there's 50 minutes left in the race. It is a 90-minute race. We're at an hour and 6 minutes remaining right now, an hour and 6.5 minutes. So we're not too far from the pit window, but at 50 minutes remaining, you're allowed to enter the pits, and you can take fuel, tires, make any repairs you need to do. That's not a problem, as long as you are done with your pit stop at the 40-minute mark, meaning you have crossed the line out of pit lane by 40 minutes. Otherwise, it's a 1-minute penalty for each one that you take, fuel and or tires. You get a 1-minute penalty if you take either of those outside of the pit window. So Tattooed Freak had to pit, and Tattooed Freak was not allowed to even fuel the car or put tires on it while he was in there. He could only fix his damage. As you can see there, yep, only for damage in big bold letters on the rules here. Is this still Sephiroth and Broccolilli? Yep, still Sephiroth and Broccolilli. Black Friday is a little closer to them now, 1.6 seconds behind them now. So Black Friday is catching up to these two drivers, and I expect that he will want to battle Sephiroth soon, but Sephiroth might decide here, you know, if I'm Sephiroth, it might be my time to make a move on Broccolilli just to put a car between him, myself, and Black Friday, but that's just me. Of course, you got to catch up to make that happen. I forgot I can't show you guys that. I've got to remember, you know what, there are keyboard shortcuts for the different views, and I'm going to have to remember those, or maybe get a keyboard overlay that just has them on there, so I don't have to cycle through views that you guys aren't allowed to see. Some things are secret. They're secret. What's this then? Igorski up on Chevy. And Igorski's been in a lot of battles. We've seen Igorski get past. We've seen Igorski make passes. He's definitely an integral part of this race, an exciting part of this race. I like that livery too. I didn't really look at it. The red and gray. It's a nice little decal there. Both of them using as much of the track as possible as they go through Paul Frere and Blanchimont. And now the hard braking for the chicane, known as the bus stop chicane colloquially, though it hasn't been a bus stop for many years. It's shaped like just a traditional chicane, but it used to be a bus stop. I think, I don't even know how long ago, maybe before I was, no, they changed it. I was definitely alive when they changed it. I think they changed it around 2004, 2006 into a more traditional chicane to slow drivers down even more as they head into La Suisse. La Suisse being that corner at the very top of the map that you see in the upper right hand corner here, upper right hand side of the screen rather. That is the sharpest corner of this track, and the entry into it needs to be incredibly fast. And as cars got faster and faster, especially in Formula One, it became necessary to find a way to slow them down heading into that corner. And so the bus stop chicane became a thing, and then the bus stop had to be turned into a traditional chicane because bus stop chicanes are very fast. Traditionally, if you know Daytona International Speedway, there's a famous bus stop chicane on the back oval, and the cars don't have to slow down too much for that. You do have to slow down way down for a traditional chicane. In fact, I believe a lot of these cars are going to be using first gear in that chicane. We should probably take a lap around the track, but I just haven't really been able to find a time when there's no drama. Nux is biding his time in third place here behind Ozzy, maybe choosing to save gas as he had to make his way all the way from the back of the pack up here. So he may be a little low on fuel, so his goal might just be to get into slipstream. He's not yet in slipstream distance to Ozzy. I believe that happens at 7.5 tenths. About 7 tenths is where you want to be comfortable and know you're in it. Nux shaves off a whole lot of time there in the chicane, so that tells you what you need to know about that. Why don't we do this? No, we'll do it next lap. We'll start it properly. We'll take a lap on board with Laudy or whoever's leading at that time, and see what it's like to drive at Spa. Who is that going slowly? That was a Gorski, I believe, going slowly out of the chicane. Not sure what happened there, but it seems okay. You can see the back of the race not getting any more spread out. These last 3 or 4, not counting Tattooed Freak, but these last 3 or 4 have never been out of a fight with one another. This order has changed several times, in fact. So definitely need to keep an eye on these guys. They might have some exciting racing for us here. Sephiroth still riding along with Rocket Lily. Black Friday is now 4.5 seconds back from them, though, so something happened to Black Friday. Don't know what it was, but he has fallen way off. Last time we checked, he was 1.5 seconds back from these 2 drivers, and now he's got a huge climb to make from 4.5 seconds instead. Wow. Maybe a pretty valuable mistake somewhere. Sorry, I was going up the order and I started going down the order. This looks like Colin driving just behind Mazda. Don't think these 2 are fighting. I don't remember if they were driving together this whole time, but Colin is definitely in position to make a move on Mazda. Ooh, I want to take this lap with Cloudy Darkness, but I don't want to miss it if something happens here. You know what? We'll just have to trust. We'll have to trust that nothing wonderful is going to happen. We're going to take a lap on board with Cloudy Darkness. He's just come out of the chicane. He's about to cross the line now. And boom, this starts lap 14 at Spa. The first corner, that very sharp hairpin I told you about, La Source, is here. Laudy does go down to first gear for that. That's what I thought. And you jump down. It's a long downhill, very fast run into the next corner. Probably the most famous corners of this track. Eau Rouge is this left-hander, followed by that long uphill sweeper, Radillon. Ooh, I almost forgot. And here we are entering Kimmel Straight. This kink here is actually called Kimmel. I don't think anyone actually says anything about it, but that's Kimmel. This straight is Kimmel Straight. It is the longest straight on the track, and Laudy's going to hit somewhere around 160-65 mile an hour before braking for Le Combe, which is like a loose chicane. As you see, right, left, just after that, Malmedy, just a slight lift and a late apex at Malmedy to set up for this next corner, the second most famous corner here, Bousset. It's a long right-handed hairpin that you have to be very patient for. You don't want to get on the throttle too fast. This corner doesn't have a name that I know of. Just unnamed corner. Then another downhill run to double gauche, double left in French, if you will. And it is exactly what it sounds like. It's a double left-hander. You got to be careful carrying speed through here. It is downhill, and it will send you to the outside. You'll understeer through it if you are not careful. Just after the double gauche, the right-hander doesn't have a name, but this left-hander is called Le Fan. Actually, maybe the right and the left together make Le Fan. It's an even looser chicane-type corner as you head down into Campus. A double right-hander here, really. Campus and then Stavalo, which is one of the original corners of this track from the original layout. We'll talk about that if we have some time. It's probably been resurfaced, but Stavalo is a corner that existed when this circuit opened in 1921. This long left is called Coupe Paul Frere, and then this one is called Blanchiment. What? Is this Ozzy making a move in Paul Frere and Blanchiment? It is! We have drama. He gets ahead of Laudy as they enter the chicane. You see them slow way down hard on the brakes. Ozzy with the pass on Laudy, and then Nux is right here on his bumper, just under his wing. So that was a lap around Spa and a pass for the lead. Before we replay it, let's see if we see anything else happen here. Is Nux going to take advantage of what just happened, or is he just choosing to use Laudy as just another gas saver? I think nothing too bad happening there. Let's see how that built up. We're gonna go with Ozzy here. They were side by side already. I can't even go back far enough, unfortunately. A little bit of bumping there. Nux even getting in on the action as well, but Ozzy came out ahead of everyone there. I was just leisurely telling you guys the corners, didn't even realize this drama was happening next to me. Mazda and Colin going at it as well. You know what? That's actually why I don't race in cockpit view in this game. It's cool, but it's very restricted in what you can see. As you can see, I can look left and right on my controller, but you don't have left and right controls if you drive with a wheel. So you can't really see what's going on around you, just kind of mostly what's ahead until someone's already here. It's just not my favorite. You can adjust your seat height, and you can adjust it forward and aft from what I recall, but I just have never found that cockpit view in this game is worth it. Maybe with a double monitor setup. I'm not really sure how that works. I think you have to have 2 PlayStations to make it work, if I'm not mistaken. Look at this backpack here, though. Slap is Chevy. Joey. Sorry. Slap is Smitty. Joey. All together, but Chevy's in there too. Chevy's that orange and black car ahead. Here is a Gorski just behind them, watching it all happen, maybe hoping that he can catch up. As we just saw a pass for position, we're seeing a lot of battling back here. A lot of people jockeying for not last and not second to last, and that's what I like to see. We're 5 minutes from the pit window opening. In fact, Smitty is here in 13th place. Don't know how long ago you asked that, but that's where we are. I'm going to turn off the banner so we can see everyone's tire situation. Let's start from the top. Laudy's back up front, by the way. Laudy on the mediums with a quarter tank of gas here, 5 minutes from the opening of the pit window. Nux has made his way into second place, and Ozzy's a little bit down on the, which tells me maybe something happened to Ozzy there. Nux looking about the same as Laudy on fuel and tires. Their fuel and tires are identical. Nux side by side into Kimmel, just got a better run up Gradillon, and I think he's going to go ahead and use this to take first place away as we get closer to the pit. So Nux from very, very last, and now leads the race by the end of the first stint. So an incredible first stint run by Nux so far here, and he's just got to hold on a few more minutes before he's able to pit and put on some soft tires and more fuel into the car. Ozzy and Laudy, good job to stay towards the front, especially Ozzy. Started in second place, like we said, and was expected to go towards the back of the pack, but it stayed right here in the top 3, leading the race at one point. What's his fuel look like? Ozzy did a lot of fuel saving, and it doesn't look like he saved that much more than Loudy or Nux did. He's sitting at a quarter tank towards the end of this lap here. Scotty is in fourth with a quarter tank of gas and very good looking set of racing mediums. Not that it matters. He's got no one to battle here, but it's probably keeping him away from Colin. Colin's got a little less fuel. He's being followed by Mazda, who also has done a great job saving fuel despite having to come in from the back as well. If you recall, Mazda got spun in turn 1, lap 1. This was the very first thing that happened in this race, was Mazda going all the way around at the outside of La Sus. Brock Lilly has been racing with Sephiroth, well, really just leading Sephiroth. They haven't been battling at all. And he's sitting on about the same amount of fuel. I'm seeing just similar fuel numbers from everyone here. Black Friday back here with a quarter tank. Tires look about the same for just about everyone. Smitty, very low on fuel compared to everyone, has about half as much fuel saved as everyone else. He's sitting on an 8th tank, so that means was that Smitty? Someone just took a little ride on the outside of Paul Frere there for a while, but yeah, this is Smitty being challenged at the chicane, and unfortunately gets spun around by, was that Joey Cannoli? Let's take a look at that again from just behind Smitty's car. Yep, Smitty dives in on Joey, and Joey oversteers into the back of him. So Joey got on the throttle, oversteered into the back of him, and even Gorski seemed to get messed up there. Can we watch that again? I think even Gorski got a little taste of the back end of that, or maybe was it Joey Cannoli who just had to recover there. That's Joey oversteering. And here comes Zagorski. Just, yeah, he didn't spin or anything like that. He was just entering the mess. Ooh, bad luck there for Smitty to get turned around just at the end of the stint here. Nux already with 1.1 seconds on Loudy now that he made that pass just a lap ago. So Nux putting on the afterburners, choosing to go ahead and use up the rest of those tires and fuel as he wishes before he takes this pit stop for the softs. Mid-pack, Scotty has gotten ahead of Mazda. Something happened to Mazda because he was in 5th with Colin there, and Scotty was racing all alone last time we checked on everyone. So Mazda with a oops somewhere there. Broccolilli now still leading Sephiroth. Black Friday still far away from them. Chevy, Slapis, and Joey all separated now after what happened with Smitty. And of course, Zagorski is now ahead of Smitty because he had to turn all the way around. Smitty's 3.8 seconds back from Zagorski, and he's going to need a longer pit stop. Ooh, he touches that, I think that's AstroTurf. I don't know what that slippery stuff is, but you don't want to get caught in it. It will spin you, it will hold on to you, it will do everything it can to make sure that it ruins your race. Same stuff that exists at Suzuka. If you played this game, raced at Suzuka in this game, that green AstroTurf looking stuff is basically ice. You can touch it if you're going straight, but be careful on the throttle. Don't turn the wheel too much. And get off of it as soon as you can. These two are just a picture of cooperation. I mean, Sephiroth has been sitting here behind Broccolilli forever saving fuel. And like I said, he hasn't even saved that much fuel in comparison to Broccolilli. So I think either everyone was fuel saving hard, which makes sense. It doesn't look like you would have made it to the end of the stint if you weren't, though the pit window is open. People can pit if they want to. Now we're 48 minutes and 47 seconds, but it's interesting to me that very few drivers are showing a difference in their fuel situation. Tattooed Freak pits first, and he's down bad as far as fuel. So Tattooed and Smitty probably saved the least amount of fuel. Tattooed did lead the race for a very long time, though. no slipstream. That made sense to me. You can see them fueling the car right now, and he's now leaving the pits with a fresh set of softs on and a full tank of fuel. He has gone ahead and filled it all the way back up. Nux 1.6 seconds ahead of Loudy Dark Mist. He could stay out. He's still got fuel in the car. He could stay out on those mediums and make sure that he runs a shorter stint on the softs if he wants to. I don't know that the softs will wear too quickly on this track, though. This track isn't really bad for tire wear, so it might be worth it to pit earlier and take the softs earlier, so you're putting in those fast laps sooner than later. But it looks like most people are opting to stay out on the mediums. I didn't practice this race with anyone, so my opinion is just that, just an opinion. May not be the best strategy, but I don't know. I would just think, why not go ahead and grab those softs if you know they're not going to wear out too bad and fall off at the end of the second stint. Maybe, not maybe. These drivers definitely know something I don't know. Like I said, I only came in maybe 15 minutes before the start of the race, grabbed the car and put in a few laps in the car. Like I said, the Jaguar is great, very fast in a straight line, very torquey. Smitty is into the pits, by the way. 6% fuel left in that car. Nice greenish blue paint on those wheels. But yeah, the car is nice around here. It's not known for turning or handling prowess, don't get me wrong, but this is a high-speed track. This is an old-school track that is meant as a showcase of speed, and the Jaguar has that for you. So really nice choice of car and track combo here, I would think. There's really not much to complain about with this car around here. And as far as understeer goes, it's very manageable, and if you want a little more turn in, you can just shove that brake balance all the way to the back, and so definitely kick the rear end out for you on braking, or you can do what I do. I just kind of kick it down to second or even first gear. A lot of the V8 cars in this, and you know, they don't like the rear end will lock up on you, basically. Man, I can't speak English. You can lock the rear end up a bit just to kind of kick it into the apex if you need it to, especially with cars like this that aren't known for their great turn in. Either way, fun times. I think I put in a 2:18.1, something like that, maybe a 2:17. I can't remember my lap time. That was on the softs and a full tank of gas. So I'm expecting that after these pit stops, I'm expecting that 2:17s, 2:16s, maybe even 2:15s are possible for this group, because like I said, it was just a couple of laps on a full tank of gas on the racing softs, and we're seeing drivers already do like 2:18s. Yeah, Tattooed Freak did a 2:18.3 on the mediums. So I'm expecting this race, this second stint, to get even quicker. We're at 45 minutes in, so we're getting to, not the wire, but some people are going to want to think about pitting here considering it's such a long lap. Here's Nux coming through Le Combe here, so a little less than halfway through this lap. He would want to think twice before taking a second lap instead of pitting. We'll see what he ends up doing. I get the feeling Loudy, oh no, Loudy's very low on fuel. He's going to pit. I don't think he's going to try to follow what Nux does. Mazda has stayed out and taken over third place because, who was in third? I can't remember. Ozzy has pitted, that's what it was. So Ozzy out on racing softs, did not take a full tank of fuel. Just trying to calculate and keep that car as efficient as possible. Chevy is now into the pits with a decent amount of fuel saved. See a couple pair of eyes looking at us through the rear quarter window. We're not going to be able to see it again, I don't think. We're not going to get the camera angle for that. As he comes out of the pits here, here comes Smitty through La Source, chasing Chevy. Smitty already pitted. Tattooed already pitted, so who's still out? We said Nux was still out, Loudy's still out, Mazda stayed out. Has Scotty pitted? Scotty's also not pitted. Broccolilli, Sephiroth, Black Friday still out. Slap is still out. Joey's still out. So we have 9 drivers who have not pitted yet. They will pit this lap around, though. We have 43 minutes and 35 seconds left in the race. That's 3.5 minutes to get your pit stop done. And most of them are just about halfway done with this lap. Nux is in. Our leader is in, followed by Laudy. So I did expect Laudy to pit. Wasn't sure about Nux, but Nux gone ahead and pitted as well. Yeah, Nux pretty low on fuel. 3% fuel in Nux's car versus Laudy's 1%. It's not going to be that big a deal. In fact, everyone else coming in has got 3% fuel left. So assuming they all fuel up to the same level, they should come out in the same order. But you never know. Someone might choose to short fuel it, try to get out ahead of everyone else. That's the beauty of endurance racing, where you have pit stops and fueling. People are going to try things. You know, you might be able to take a gamble. Hey, I can take less fuel, get out ahead of everyone, and if I can make it to the end on this amount of fuel, then I'm golden. Did Sephiroth stay out? Sephiroth did stay out. I don't know why. We got 42.5 minutes left, and he's 35 seconds into this lap. I don't think that Sephiroth is going to get out of the pits in time. Nux is out. Ozzy is out just behind him. Laudy is out absolute last. He took a full tank of fuel. Ozzy short fueled. Nux took a fuel tank as well. Ozzy short fueled by a lot. So interesting to see what his strat will be. Probably to save fuel behind Nux. He probably short fuel just to get out just behind him. So if he can catch up and get into that slipstream, that might work for him. Though I don't know that Ozzy has the pace to keep up with Nux. I can't wait to see if he does, because that's a big gamble. That's a big gamble to short fuel and think you're going to be able to save and maybe hope you get a slipstream from someone who might just run away from you. Laudy played it safe, took a full tank, said I'm not going to have fuel issues for the end of this stint here. Colin is up in 5th place behind them, and Mazda in 6th. Scotty, Broccolilli, I think it was Sephiroth who I said had not pitted. Where did he quit? We lost Sephiroth. Yeah. Oh no, he's in first. What am I saying? Of course he's in first. He hasn't pitted. Sephiroth down to the wire on fuel and down to 1 minute left to finish this pit stop. It's kind of a long pit. We're going to stay with him to see how he makes it work. He's coming into the last corners here, about to break for the chicane, and he's going to have maybe 45 seconds to get this pit stop in, or he's going to take a 2-minute penalty for both the tires and the fuels. And the fuels. So he's in. I can't go on board with him. This is just us watching and waiting till he reaches his stall. There is, which you can't see animated, is just basically an estimate of how long it would take him to get to the stall using the pit speed limiter. Though I don't know how accurate it is. As you can see, it's a long way. He's got 0% fuel, no fuel in that car, and he's got 13 seconds to get out and cross the line. That's not going to work out. He's going to have to put fuel in the car. He's going to take a penalty here, unfortunately. So Sephiroth has probably put himself in last place here, short of someone having a really, really bad race. Nux, 1.2 seconds away from Ozzy, so almost doubling the gap that we had last time to him. So Ozzy is going to have to find some other way to make this stint work on 3/4 of a tank of gas. Granted, it's way less time than the first half, of course. So, maybe Ozzy is a genius. I don't know how much fuel it takes to finish this race. Like I said, I didn't practice with anyone. Maybe Ozzy knows what he's doing, because he has put quite a gap between himself and Laudy Dark Mist. Even if he's not able to catch Nux, if he can stay away from Laudy and anyone else, second place points are absolutely desirable here. Let's see. Where did he finish last race? Ozzy finished in 12th last week. So a second place finish here for Ozzy would be fantastic to get more points. He is sitting in 12th in the standings, of course, with 4 points from that from that performance, and he would get 16 for second place. So we're rooting for Ozzy. We are. I'm gonna put the banner back on. Everyone has pitted. Let's see where Sephiroth came out. Up. Tattooed Freak is back in the pits. Oh, with engine damage. Is it too late to see what happened to him? Yeah, he's already entering the pits. So Tattooed Freak has had another accident. He's going into the pits with engine damage, unfortunately. Sephiroth came out in 8th place. Of course, he's going to be carrying, I believe, 2 minutes of penalty. I think they're going to count both the fuel and the tires as being taken outside of the pit window, since he was not able to get out of the pits before the 40-minute mark. Maybe just a lapse of concentration there. Maybe didn't realize what the rule was, but that's pretty unfortunate for Sephiroth there. Black Friday has a new partner. It's no longer, has a partner, period. He didn't have a partner before, but he's got a Slappus behind him. Slappus took a little over 3/4 of a tank of fuel, so maybe looking to save behind Black Friday. And then behind them we got Joey and Chevy. Smitty in 13th, Agorski in 14th, racing all alone, 5 seconds back from Smitty. And then, of course, you got Tattooed Freak, who went into the pits with damage, and it looks like he's not going to fix it. I think he's going to opt to just not finish this race, unfortunately. Nux with a 3-second gap on Loudy and Ozzy. Not sure what happened to Ozzy there, though. We've seen Ozzy do this before in the first stint. I think Ozzy just likes to save fuel, so Ozzy might have let Loudy come get in front of him. Not sure, but that 1.6 second gap that I mentioned before is definitely gone, and now he's on the back foot. Colin has never really been out of the game, has he? Colin from very early on in the first stint was up in or near the top 5 at least, and now he's sitting comfortably in 4th place with a over 2 second gap in either direction. Obviously, he'd probably like to catch up to Ozzy and Loudy, but he's got nearly 3 seconds to Mazda, which is probably a good thing for him, because Mazda has shown serious pace to come in from the very back to get into the top 5 here during the first stint. Scotty's been doing well too. I haven't seen too much drama regarding Scotty. A couple of moments, but nothing too serious here. Sephiroth, we already know the story with him. Broccolilli has lost his Slappus. Not sure what happened to Slappus there, but can we catch it? Is it too late to catch it? Yeah, it's too late to catch it. He ended up in front of Black Friday though. So Black Friday gonna try to get around him. Broccolilli now racing all alone. Sephiroth racing all alone. 11.8 seconds to Slappus. So wherever Slappus ended up, he ended up bad off into 9th place there. He's got Black Friday right on him, and I wonder if Black Friday's gonna go ahead and make a pass here, or if Slappus does have pace over him. Broccolilli just left the room. I think we got a disconnection there. So we've lost Broccolilli. That gives Sephiroth 6th place and Slappus 2nd. Broccolilli was sitting in 8th, if I'm not mistaken. So we will never get Black Friday v. Broccolilli this race. Sad day. Black Friday is all over the back of Slappus. Ooh, unfortunately taps him a little there in Kimmel and is not able to get the slingshot around. I think he was going for it. He's going to show the nose for the braking into Lecombe, but he's too far to really make a move. Just trying to throw Slappus off a little bit there. Now battling Slappus, dirty air in Lecombe and here in Malmedy, but makes it happen. You see him turning in slightly early to try to counteract the effects of being in that dirty air. Doing a good job through Brousset into the unknown corner, and just behind there's Joey Cannoli in 9th place. I think this is the highest that we've seen Joey in a while. So Joey keeping an eye on this battle to see if maybe he can take advantage as well. Black Friday again making sure to stay well inside of Slappus's wake, in the double gauche does not want to understeer into the outside of that corner for sure. That's the last place you want to be. Look at Degorski. If you end up out here, all of that past the green is ice. You will just get stuck out there. You might even spin. It's very dirty and dusty. It's nothing like the racing line. There's no grip out there. So the last thing you want to do is understeer in the double left. Oof, Nux, 3 seconds on Loudy. Loudy, 1 second on Ozzy. So Ozzy, don't know if he is just fuel saving too much and not keeping pace, or if maybe he's unable to keep the pace on the racing softs. Is Brock Lilly back in the room? I guess he's just going to watch as he unfortunately got disconnected. That's pretty annoying, of course. I understand that. Loudy has taken the fastest lap so far with a 2:17.8 that he just threw down on this last lap here, which is surprising. I would have thought Nux had the fastest lap. He also had a 2:17.8, just slightly slower, 2:17.834 versus Loudy's 2:17.810. So not too far off that fastest lap. Mazda's up in the 4th because Colin is where? Have we lost Colin? I didn't see a message that we lost Colin, but I guess we lost Colin. We did lose Colin. It's just after Brock Lilly. Wow, 2 disconnects. Colin made it up in the 4th place, so that's just really, really, really bad luck for him there. That's really unfortunate. I can't remember how many points drivers get if they make the race and disconnect, but obviously it's not going to be as much as 4th place points or anything in the top 5. So really bad luck for Colin there to disconnect in this second stint with not long left in the race, about 30 minutes left as we finish this long enduro up. Spa, of course, just perfect for endurance races, but it is tiring. I took my 3 laps earlier before the race started, like I said, and I was in the voice chat with the drivers, and I was like, man, I feel sorry for anyone who's doing this on a wheel. Like, I'm tired. I'm tired after 3 laps. My arms hurt. I don't want to do 90 minutes, and I'm gone. And I left the track. At that point, I was very satisfied. But these drivers have been at it for an hour so far. Some of them are not on wheel, some of them are on controller, which is its own kind of challenge. I used to do 3-hour enduros on controller in Gran Turismo 5 and 6, and let me tell you, when you finally put the controller down, you don't really realize how much your hands hurt and are cramped up. But wheel or controller, this is definitely a long one on a tough track that is just perfectly made for it, though. It doesn't get much better than Spa. There's a reason why this track has been kept up and maintained and changed and used for major racing since 1921. 100 years Spa has been in operation here, and it's changed a lot. Ooh, a little tap between Slappus and Black Friday there. I think Black Friday ended up getting ahead as a result of it. Heading into Eau Rouge Razion. We're going to play the replay in a second. I want to see if Slappus is able to come back on him in Kimmel, though. He didn't end up losing a position to Joey, who has been lurking, but he gets a better run out of Eau Rouge, definitely, than Black Friday, and I think he's going to try to make a move into Lecombe. Maybe. Nope. Acts like he's going to, and that doesn't seem to throw Black Friday off one bit. He takes Lecombe perfectly. So let's see that touch. What happened there? They had a touch coming out of La Sousse. I didn't see the whole thing. Slappus goes a bit wide and comes back on, and Black Friday is just, he's on his line. You're on the edge there. So Black Friday just kind of was already on his line, and Slappus was there. I would call that a racing incident. No, nobody's real fault there. Slappus is the one who went wide, and that gave Black Friday the advantage. But you see what I mean? So many opportunities created at this track. So much good passing. That's Apex. Tattooed Freak. Nux with a 3.7 gap. 3.7 second gap rather on Laudy, and he just takes the fastest lap, a 2:17.578, knocks 3/10 off of his previous lap. But then Mazda just takes it with a 2:17.111, even faster than Nux there. They both have about the same amount of fuel, so I can't even say that Mazda's car is that much lighter. He did that without a slipstream too, so Mazda making a statement back from 4.3 seconds back in 4th place, like, hey, I'm still with it, still here. I'm gonna catch up to y'all. Don't mess up. Don't mess up. Oh, that was a great view. Sorry I missed that. Maybe we can catch it again. As Black Friday Slappers and Joey round La Sus. Let's catch this downhill view looking over, yes, looking over Eau Rouge and La Radillon. You can see all that forest there. This track there are a lot of places where you can see glimpses of just what it used to be like. Spa, as big as it is, right? We're looking at 2-minute 17, 2-minute 18-second laps here. Your slap us on Black Friday. You got a much better run out of Radillon this time around, and he's going to have the inside for Lecombe, makes the braking, and that's pass made there. So these two exchange positions again. This little battle here for 7th place is everything. In fact, I think it's our only battle, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and we got Joey just lurking, just like, hey, when do y'all mess up? Let me get in here. You know what? Let's watch from here, and I will hide what you guys cannot see. But the shape of this track, it's roughly a triangle. It was always roughly a triangle. La Sus at the top always existed. Stavalo, which we're about to get to, it's not this first right-handed, this is Campus, the second right-hander that we're about to hit. Stavalo always existed. Basically, this track ran between 3 towns, if I'm not mistaken, very similar to the way Le Mans is set up. And it was full of just long straights and fast sweepers like this, and it was much bigger. You know, the track, like I said, it was built in 1921. I think motorcycles raced on it first, but very shortly, maybe not even 1922 or something like that was when cars started racing on it. But it was built in an era where cars didn't really handle, right? They were on like little bicycle tires, basically. And so they weren't known for cornering prowess. What racing was high speed. It was high top speed and daring is what racing was back then. So you had tons of long straights like this coming from La Sus. Imagine this going all the way to another town rather than ending at the Lecombe chicane like we see it. It was very dangerous. Lots of deaths. I mean, because these were, I don't even think that it was a closed track back then. It might have been public roads. So you're speeding, you're passing people's farms. All sorts of stuff could happen, right? At very high speeds on cars with crap brakes and crap tires. Ooh, Joey looking like he wants to make a move on Black Friday, but I don't think that was going to work out, and he wisely leaves off of it. But he's pressuring Black Friday here, definitely trying to throw him off his line as this happens. Take a look at an incredible view of Brousset there. Not only is it this long right-handed hairpin, but you see it is also downhill, so braking for it is tricky, and it does take massive amounts of patience to not get on the throttle too soon, because you're going to be carrying more speed than you think. It's very easy to go wide in Brousset because you reach a point and it just looks like, okay, well, I can get on the throttle now, right? And you cannot. Look at Nux still leading this thing. I just want to make sure that we're not missing anything else from other people while we watch this battle for 7th place go down. The pit stop definitely shuffled everything, caused a lot of gaps because everyone's going to be on their own strategy. Not everyone took a full tank of fuel. Not everyone needed one. And of course, we've had passes and issues, but we still have some very racy drivers out here together. That's the beauty of having a full lobby, is that even when the pit stop happens and you get a lot of separation between the cars, there's usually a battle going on somewhere. And this one has been hot. Black Friday eating a penalty there, braking for the chicane, and Joey opting not to take advantage of the fact that Black Friday was ghosted. I think he just had to take the rest of his penalty. We couldn't see it, but he just ghosted when he slowed down. So Black Friday having to give that position up to Joey to get rid of the rest of his penalty before he crossed the finish line for the next lap. That is a rule. Ooh, Igorski and Smitty together again, fighting for 11th place. Tattooed Freak is going to take last place, but I feel like when someone is just giving up on the race, technically the next place is the last place. So Smitty holding it down in last right now, but trying not to be there as he looks to make something happen on Igorski. Smitty's got, if I recall, Smitty definitely fueled short coming out of the pits, so I wonder if he's looking to pass here or if he wants to save fuel behind Igorski. Whoa, little jump from Smitty there. That would not happen to him on his screen. That's just for us spectators. That was fun. He picks up a penalty, cutting the chicane there, cutting Lecombe. See if we can catch that jump again, just because it's fun. Just because it's fun. You see, he cuts a lot of it. Yep. Cole sends him, and that's going to be a half-second penalty for him that he's going to have to eat at some point here. Pardon me. Back to our battle for 7th. Slappus. I didn't realize I was going to replay my fault. I thought I was done with that. Slappus back up in the 7th. Joey ahead of Black Friday, as we saw, because Black Friday had to take a penalty. Now Slappus is the one sitting on penalty, and he might be able to get rid of some of it while he is now 1.1 seconds ahead of Joey. Might be able to get rid of some of it without having to lose a position. He's just going to want to slow down in some key spots. I'm not great at it, but if you practice, you can get pretty good at getting rid of penalty without scrubbing off too much speed. You know the right places to get rid of it to make it hard for someone to pass you. Usually in the braking zone, you start braking a little earlier. Maybe park it in the apex, just go a little slow through the corner. Just be in the way. He eats half of the penalty right there, but he's unfortunately is going to have to slow down and take the rest at the line. And that is going to give Joey Cannoli 7th place, and I think Black Friday is going to go ahead and take the position as well. Yep, Black Friday into 8th. So Slappus now in 9th place after having to take the rest of their penalty off at the line. So the battle continues. I think he got a better run out of Lassus than Black Friday. He's opting not to be in his slipstream. Maybe not to make a pass, maybe just to ensure that he's not carrying too much speed into Eau Rouge and Gradillon here, because though Gradillon is tough, Eau Rouge pretty easy. Gradillon, you're at the edge of traction at Gradillon. I will show you somebody else going through it at the on the next lap, but you're at the edge of traction. It's off camber, which is very scary, and it's uphill. Basically everything about Gradillon is encouraging understeer. Even the uphill. Being uphill means you have just that much less weight over your steering wheels, right? Over the front wheels. And the less weight you have over them, the lighter your steering gets, the less you can turn the car in. So Gradillon, very, very tough. Typically, there's only one way through it that's fast. Any other way through it is either going to throw you off the track on the outside. Ooh, Slappus almost gets stuck in that dirty stuff on the outside of Double Gauche. He's definitely going to lose a ton of time doing that. Yeah, he's losing time to Black Friday, or was, in chunks there. Let's see what happened to him there. I think just gets caught out in dirty air. Yep, just not enough braking, and he's out in the slippery stuff. He's able to get it back on track, has to lift, but he manages to save the car there. Ooh, and our leaders are going through. This is Eau Rouge, this is Hypnotic. Gradillon, you see, off camber, he's on the edge. You hear those tires complaining about it the whole time. Maybe we can catch someone else. Here's Scotty, same place. Yep, a little squirrely as well for Scotty. And you see, you end up, no matter how far inside you go on there, you end up all the way to the outside of the corner because that's just where it throws you. And the last thing you want to do, Sephiroth is kind of over the line there, might pick up a penalty, in fact, which is not what you want to happen while you're there. But that's how it happens. You don't want to hit the curb on the inside. I wish you could see it better. We're going too fast, but it's very steep. And if you touch it, yep, it disturbed Black Friday. But if you take too much of it, it will absolutely send you. And I mean send you. The car gets tossed to the outside of Gazillon there. There's plenty of runoff, luckily. It's something that had to be added for safety, of course. But it throws you off your line. You have to be very careful through there. Because it's probably one of the most difficult sweepers, even though it's a short sweeper. It's probably one of the most difficult sweepers in motorsport, I would think, because it's very technical to go through there correctly. And you want to go through it correctly because it's uphill, right? It's already sapping up your speed, and it leads to the absolute fastest and longest straight on this track. A lot of your lap time is made in Kimmel, and so your transition from Gazillon to Kimmel is of the utmost importance. I will say that is fully where I lose the most time if I'm racing at Spa. Because I'm bad at it. I'm just bad. Right? Bad at Eau Rouge, Dion. Smitty versus Igorski, no longer the thing. Smitty's now 3.3 seconds away from Igorski, so he's lost him. Laudy has completely lost Ozzy. He's 5.6 seconds up. Ozzy, in fact, is now in trouble from Mazda. So I think something happened to Ozzy that we missed, unfortunately, but now Mazda is all over the back of him as they now head down into Eau Rouge and La Gazillon. And for Mazda, it's going to be doubly dangerous because he's in dirty air. So you're going to see him take a much bigger lift there than you normally would just to make sure he makes the corner. He's able to keep momentum, though. Awesome. Stays behind Ozzy. In fact, he gets a good run and a good slipstream. I don't think he's going to be able to make a pass into Lecombe. Oh. Ozzy gave it to him. Just gave it to him. All right. So that's that. Now, I could probably see that happening because Ozzy took way less fuel than anyone else in this race, and to me, it seems that maybe he's feeling that and realizing he needs to save fuel, and so he legitimately just did not even want to fight Mazda. Just gave him the position and is going to tuck in behind him and save fuel for a bit. He's going to need it, I think. We'll see. As we get closer to the end of the race, of course, we'll take a closer look at that. I can't tell for now if he's going to make it or not, but we'll see. Joey Cannoli and Black Friday side by side in Kimmel. Joey gets ahead for Lecombe. I don't know if he was already ahead. Let's take a look at the replay. Yeah, he was ahead of Black Friday already. This is them heading into the chicane. Let's see, not the chicane, I'm sorry. This is them heading into Lecombe. What am I saying? Just side by side through Kimmel. And yeah, Joey holds on to that. I guess Lecombe is a chicane. I did say that. It's like a loose chicane, but it's not the chicane, right? Ooh, Black Friday looked like he was going wide in the first left, but he held on to it. Had to pucker up a little bit there as he is losing time to Joey in chunks. So I'm guessing he was going wide and had to lift severely there because now here's Slappis right on his rear, and Joey is no longer in slipstream for Slappis poking his nose inside a Campus. I don't know if he thought that was going to be a move. I guess it could have been, but isn't able to hold on to it. Black Friday able to edge him out there. These three have been going at it basically since the pit window closed several minutes ago. We haven't seen a change. Ooh, Black Friday a little bit wide in Blanchimont, out into the slippery stuff. That might affect his braking for the chicane. He's able to make it. You saw the rear end a little bit squirrely there, just a slight shuffle as he was on the brakes, but nothing too dramatic, nothing he couldn't handle. Chavy's been racing alone for a long, long time here in 10th place, and probably hoping just to take home the top 10 position. Igorski and Smitty are still far away. I think Smitty's got pace on Nagorski, though. He's now 2.7 seconds away. He's been doing 2:19s. High 2:19s mostly, but we got a really low one 2 laps ago, 2:19 flat almost. But the rest of them are 2:19, 6, 7, 9. Igorski, meanwhile, has been doing 2:18, 2:21, 2:18s. So I think that 2:21 is probably how Smitty caught up. Maybe it's not a pace thing, and it's Igorski made a mistake thing. What do we got in our battle for 7th? Joey leads. Black Friday in 8th place. Slappas, who once was in 7th place, still behind, hasn't quite recovered from having to take that penalty, but is in the running, is in contention here. Not too far from these two cars, and I think the one thing he probably wishes is that these two drivers would get to fighting, so he could take advantage. Ooh, Black Friday, very, very deep on the inside there, and then Joey goes wide, so Black Friday gets the corner anyway. Joey going wide in the double gauche there. Ooh, a hit, no damage, luckily for Slappas. That might have just been a lag thing, but Joey loses the position after going wide in the double gauche. We'll go back and watch that from inside Slappas' car here, but watch first. Black Friday goes deep into the corner, not deep, sorry, just goes hard at the apex and almost gets bounced to the outside, but Joey already messed up, went wide, and that gave Black Friday the corner anyway. I think Black Friday was maybe trying real hard to avoid getting thrown wide from dirty air and just overestimated the amount of turn-in needed. Did I just see Joey die? Yes, I did. Joey with a big mistake into the chicane, and he might get passed here by Chevy as well. I'm gonna wait and see before we go to this replay, but here's Chevy behind Joey. Joey's gonna have dirty tires for the braking into La Source. He makes it okay, but Joey now out of the fight for 7th place. You saw him lose the back end a little bit coming out of La Source. Easy to do that though. But what happened? He was fender to fender with Black Friday and Blanchimont, and he just outbrakes himself. He just misses his braking. Black Friday with the heads up to realize he was coming and not turn in too soon and not get caught up in, not get tangled up in that with Joey. And Joey actually managed to get away with that without hitting a wall or anything. So none too worse for the wear. We saw when Tattooed Freak did it, he was not able to avoid the wall, and that was the cause of his first engine damage. But Joey able to save it and survive. He just loses a couple of positions. Man, Nux is 5.6 seconds up the road. I mean, very similar to what happened last race. He's just putting on a clinic, absolutely running away from everyone here. Mazda has lost Ozzy. What happened to Ozzy? Ozzy's race has just kind of fallen apart here, and he's running very low on fuel. Unfortunately, whatever happened to Ozzy already happened before. Further back than I can go back and replay. But Ozzy goes from sitting in second, in contention for first, pretty much all of the race, down to third, and now he's down into 4th place by 7.5 seconds. I mean, short of something bad happening up front, he's not going to get back up there. And what's worse is he doesn't have a slipstream either. Maybe nothing happened to him. Maybe he's just saving fuel, aggressively saving fuel, because we have 9 minutes and 45 seconds left in this race. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the ban. Why not? 9 minutes 45 seconds left in the race, and this is Ozzy's fuel situation. So he's gonna have to sip it. I wonder where he's shifting this thing. Haven't seen the red line yet. Yeah, he's shifting it before you can even see the red line. He is short shifting the heck out of the Mazda, the Jaguar. I don't think I can curse. I don't think I'm allowed to curse. But yeah, Ozzy having to deal with the consequences of his pit decision there to fuel up very, very quickly. in an attempt to get out. I have to imagine that if it wasn't an accident, I have to imagine that his thought process was, I'm going to leave when Nux leaves, and I'm going to get a slipstream on him and just save fuel and keep up with him. But Nux put a huge gap on him within 1 lap, and that wasn't available to him. Then Loudy showed up, and he was with Loudy for a bit, but I guess he lost him. Then it was Mazda, and he's lost Mazda. He just has not been able to save fuel. Slapis is alone. Joey's in 8th, and Black Friday's behind Joey. Why do you guys keep having issues off camera? So Black Friday's ahead of Joey here. I think it just happened. No, he's behind Joey. What am I saying? Never mind. We missed it. Oh, well. You know, it would be great. It would be fantastic if GT7 gives us more granular replay control. I would cry tears of joy. Unfortunately, the way it works now is that if you have a keyboard, you can set a marker. When you see something happen, you can press C. That sets a marker, and you can go back several seconds back from that marker. I think as long as 10 or 15 seconds back, if I'm not mistaken, but no further. So if you miss something that happened, you set your marker too far, too late. There's only so much you can do. Ooh, Igorski trying to make a move around the outside. Sorry, Smitty trying to make a move around the outside. No, my bad. Igorski trying to make a move around the outside of a Chevy in Paul Frere and Blanchimont, which just doesn't work. I mean, those corners are, ooh, and he's into the wall. He just oversteers into the wall just past the pit entry too. So he's gonna have to take this whole next lap with engine damage. Not really sure what he was trying to do there. You can see he's going through the marbles and all this dirty stuff here, trying to get around Chevy, but you're pretty flat out in those corners. There's no way to go around the outside, and then here coming out of the chicane, he just overcooks it on the throttle. Again, dirty tires will do that to you. He's in first gear, dirty tires, gets on the throttle, and it just sends him into the wall. So now Igorski with engine damage, that's going to slow him way down. You can see Smitty catching up already. He's about to pass him here, coming into Kimmel, and he's going to stay slow for the duration. Smitty actually choosing to stay behind him. I think Smitty is paused. He is paused. So the AI is driving Smitty's car, and it's not going to pass Igorski. I think it's programmed not to make passes. So Smitty not even able to take advantage of what's happening here because he's AFK. But maybe he'll come back on before Igorski goes into the pits. Well, either way, the AI will drive around Igorski when Igorski pits, so he will still get the position. Our 7th place battle has broken up. Slapis now has 2.8 seconds on Joey Cannoli. Joey has 4.8 seconds on Black Friday, so that battle is all over with. We have 5.5 minutes left in the race. Ozzy is into the pits needing fuel, so he's going to eat a 1-minute penalty because he has to go in and take fuel to finish out this race. He's got 5% left, and it'd be impossible to ask the car to use only 1% per lap, so that's what he's got to do to finish it. Unfortunately, he won't come in last. That's probably why he opted to do it. He won't come in last because Tattooed Freak had to pit and is way more than 2 minutes behind. But Ozzy is going to eat at least a 1-minute penalty here for taking fuel. Scotty has been in 4th place since time itself. He just went purple in the first sector. So Scotty maybe looking for a fastest lap here. He's got pretty good softs and a lightweight car, less than a quarter tank of gas in that thing. Mazda, who has our fastest lap, hasn't really challenged it the last few laps. Oh, and he's not going to do it this lap either. He touches the slippery stuff with his back tires in the first of the double lefts and loses the back end a little bit there. Let's watch that again from the chase cam. Just gets out in it, and then, yep, that sends him. He got on the throttle. almost lost it. He's lucky to save it, actually. That would have been a horrible way to lose third place. And he actually goes purple in the second sector regardless. So maybe Mazda still on pace. Nope, never mind. Scotty, what are we doing? Scotty about to cross a sector marker here. What have we got? Slower by 0.035. Nux still just eating time out of Laudy. 6.8 seconds. So at no point has Nux's pace slowed down at all. He's been doing 217s for a while now. The car's gotten pretty light on him. He hasn't dipped into 218 since lap 29. We're now on lap 38, so almost 10 laps ago. Laudy doing pretty good as well, holding on to second place. No one to race. Just has to bring the car home, and he'll take second place points. Mazda, again, Mazda having a very similarly amazing run to Nux, coming in from, he started in 11th and ended up spinning lap 1, turn 1, and ended up in last by several seconds and has made his way up into third place. And there he goes, purple in the first sector again, so maybe Mazda is getting faster. You can see, actually, all of these drivers have made their way to the top from pretty far back. Laudy was the furthest up, started the race in 9th place. Mazda in 11th, like I said, and Nux was in 14th. Now sitting in first. Sephiroth has been having a great second stint. No one to fight, no one to battle. Unfortunately, did not get out of the pits quick enough, so this is not his true position. He is in 5th place on track position, but he's definitely going to lose time. Might not go all the way to last place. Definitely wouldn't because of Tattooed Freak, but he's going to get a 2-minute penalty. Ozzy also is going to take a penalty for the fuel that he had to take, unfortunately. So Ozzy not really sitting in 6th place either, and he just went fastest in the first sector. So speed from everyone. Slappus ends up the winner of that long, drawn-out 7th place battle. He led it for a long time, lost it, came back when both of his opponents had mistakes. I don't know what happened to Black Friday. We missed it, but we did see what happened to Joey Cannoli in the chicane. Just ended up completely missing it. Black Friday probably going to have to settle for 9th as he's 7 seconds back from Joey. Chevy no longer in a fight. We saw what happened to Agorski trying to fight Chevy. Smitty has now gotten the position over Agorski. He's no longer paused, but he's out of fuel. Less than a minute remaining. So if he can not cross the line before the end of 45 seconds, then he shouldn't have to go around another lap. So he's going to want to be careful and slow that pace down. He's got a 21.5 second cushion. He's good. He's not going to make it to the end of the lap before 30 seconds. Where's Nux? Is he going to? Nux has already crossed the line for lap 39. He's in Brousset, so he definitely will not take another lap. This will be the last lap of the race for the top 2, 3, 4 maybe people. Well, for everyone. Love Sephiroth. Can't get enough of that. RR Sephiroth, Rockefeller Racing. What that stands for. Ozzy. Rouge Ngadion. Pretty well. Followed by Slappus in the similar, identical. Really almost identical. I'm sure they have small differences between them. But I can't see them. And Nux has crossed the line for... No, he hasn't. That was somebody else. That's somebody who's about to get lapped way in the back there. But won't get lapped because Nux will take the checkered flag here to end the race. Just got to get to the chicane one last time. And here comes the line. There he is. Boom. He's crossed the line in first place. A fantastic drive by Nux. Loudy is going across in second after another fantastic drive. And here comes Mazda letting it hang out in the last corner for third place. So that's our podium this race. And I don't remember any of these drivers doing anything that would cause them to take any penalties that will change that. So I believe that is final. But we'll wait for the stewards to tell us, and of course to update the standings and the like on the website. Scotty just crossed for fourth. Here comes Sephiroth, who again, their position is questionable, though there are drivers behind who also will take penalties, and drivers who are just very far behind. I mean, Sephiroth himself is 47.5 seconds off from Nux. That's almost a minute, and there are drivers even further back from Sephiroth who might give him a bit of a cushion, but he's not going to finish in fifth for sure. Neither is Ozzy. So Slappus might be able to say that he has taken fifth place, might be a top 5 finish for Slappus here, followed by Joey in eighth, who Joey was always in a battle, I think, for most of this race. At the start, he was in the battle for, it was the back 3 or 4 drivers were fighting, and Joey made his way up to 8th place. Black Friday is going to cross for 9th, and here comes Chevy flashing those orange lights, those yellow lights for 10th place. Smitty and Nagorski in 12th, and Tattooed Freak in last place, 13th. Hey, kitty cat, my cat just came out. It's like she knows the race is over. So, victory for Nux. Congratulations to him. I'm going to tell everyone, great race. Congrats to Podium. See you in the interview channel. We're going to do interviews with these drivers pretty soon. Give them a few minutes to join up in the interview channel. In fact, I'm going to jump in there right now just to make sure I'm there. I see Mazda's already in, just early this time around, and we're going to wait for Loudy and Nux to join us. I'm sure they're just in the in-game chat, talking, congratulating themselves, being excited, which is expected. Wow, what a great race, y'all. Fantastic running. Let's see. Why don't we go to our calendar? You guys can take a look at what the next race is going to be. We're doing GT4 cars again at Lago Maggiore West, and it looks like it's any GT4. So open format, interesting. So we might have a pretty diverse grid next week. Not sure if there are any restrictions on how many of each car are allowed, but that's next week's race. Still waiting on Loudy and Nux. There's Loudy, he's in, and Nux will be last, and then we'll be ready to go with this interview. Man, I love that we race at Spa. Such a good track. It's always good to watch racing there. We had a lot of viewers today as well. Thank y'all for viewing, of course. Loudy, Mazda, I'm sure you guys can hear me, but we're just going to wait on Nux and get started with the interview from there. Yeah, everything's all right here. Yes, we can hear you. All right, we'll give Nux one more minute, and if he doesn't make it, that's fine. We'll have the interview with just Loudy and Mazda. Both also had amazing runs in this race. I think someone was asking about you. Robbie said, let's go Loudy. So you had a fan, Loudy, during the race. Mazda, sorry, nobody asked about you, bro. Sorry. No one cared. Yeah, you know. You were your own cheerleader this race. Looks like the boys are getting ready to practice for the next race. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and talk about your performances. We'll start with Laudy since you finished. Sorry, we'll start with Mazda. So you finished in third. You had that spin at the very start at the outside of La Source, turn one. Man, talk about it. Tell us about it. You came back from it, but yeah, tell us what happened.
No idea. I just got spun from behind. Don't know who it was. Someone probably got punted, and then ended up like 8 seconds off the back of the pack.
I remember I was very shocked to see. I saw when he made it back up to 11th after a couple laps, and I was like, all right, he's back where he started. But you just slowly started picking him off. Just picking him
Yeah,
off.
so I had a pretty thought out fuel strategy because I wanted to try and get the fastest lap of the race. So I was just saving, and then I could just hit the throttle at the end.
Gotcha. That makes sense. I noticed that even at the end of the stint, even though you had to make the run all the way from the back, you did have a good amount of gas saved. I think you had the same amount of fuel as pretty much everyone else who had saved fuel well. So, a fantastic job. I noticed that. Tires were looking good too. It looks like the mediums didn't wear too badly in this race at all.
Tires were fine. It was just I didn't have any drafting partners throughout the whole race. Almost, it was quite annoying actually.
Right, I saw that. Well, was there anything remarkable that you want to talk about before I move on to Laudy? Anything you remember from the race?
No, I just I sort of stuck by myself with no one to draft off of because I think I had Scotty. I'm not too sure, but I think he started on softs because he dropped off at the end, and we were like, I couldn't catch his draft on the first stint, so that's all I can remember.
I think everyone started on the mediums, if I'm not mistaken. So,
okay.
Yeah, I think you just had some pace, I guess.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was great. A great race.
Yeah, I mean, you did fantastic. Laudy, you too. You came up from 9th place into second. What was that like? I feel like there wasn't much drama for you. I feel like all your passes were easy. Were they?
Relatively, yeah. I'm quite fortunate in that I've driven the Jag quite a lot, and Spa is also my favourite track. So it was, a match made in heaven.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really. So driven the Jag for manufacturers in the WTCC league, so I know how good it is off the line. So just got the jump, and luckily didn't get hit going into turn one.
No, you didn't. Mazda's hit. I don't remember who did it either. Mazda. I just feel like it was kind of it was a thing. Everyone was 3 and 4 wide. It's turn one, lap one at Spa. I think it was just on bad luck, and where it happened to you, your wheels were also in that slippery stuff. I think it probably wouldn't have even been a spin had you been middle of the track. Honestly, just bad luck.
I was hoping some other people spun so they red flagged it.
Yeah, no, unfortunately it was just you. I thought about it too, but I was like, it's just Mazda. So had to let it go. Laudy, you did show your prowess with the Jag. I like the Jag. I was speaking its praises actually. I think the Jag and this track are kind of a match made in heaven.
It's just the fuel. It's you have to save fuel in the Jag, which can be a bit of a challenge if you haven't driven it before or haven't done any practice with it before. So it's a very, very thirsty car.
It is a thirsty car, but luckily it's torquey, so it's not too hard to save that fuel. Though I did remark during the race about your fuel and other people's that even people who had a slipstream the whole time didn't catch that much more of a fuel advantage. Ozzy wasn't carrying that much more fuel than anyone, and they spent the whole first stint pretty much in Tattoo Freak's slipstream, and then of course just messed up the fueling, short fueled, and had to go in again, unfortunately. Anyway, congratulations to the two of you. I won't leave you any longer, but thank you for putting on a great race. I'm excited to see what y'all put together next week.
No, thank you. Appreciate it.
Of course.
Good racing, Laudy.
See ya.
Cheers, mate. Well done.
No worries. Awesome, mate.
All right, stream. That is the end of what we've got for you today. Again, next week, same place, same time at Lago Maggiore West in any GT4. So you can expect a very diverse grid for sure. I can't wait for that. Can't wait to see you guys. And yeah, we're just going to end it here. Thank you again.